Hello, everyone. Welcome to another bright and early Bitcoin morning brief with your host, Tone Vase. Wanted to get this out of the way today. I have a busy day. I'm going to go into the city today. I'm going to take care of a bunch of stuff, and I'm just going to stay in the city for the seminar tomorrow. So I want to get this done. Next week, I'm going to try and coordinate with Jimmy some more, assuming he's in town. Maybe a few more changes to the daily videos. Right now, I'm just like doing two a days. We'll see what happens next week. Also, next week, I'm going to get back to doing all my research on traditional markets. And now that I'm going to be home in New York for about 3 weeks, I can try and get, a bunch of stuff done. Try to bring you a few more guests while I'm home here in my home base. Anyway, let's jump right into it here. Let's go to the screen share. All right. Please learn trading, guys. I have a website. It's called Liberty Life Trail. Educational tools, learn trading. The first 5 sections are way more traditional. Section 6 is more advanced, something a little different, which is what I normally use to try and time the markets better. Okay. If all my free information is not enough for you, please check out the consulting section of my website for other details, and for more hands-on stuff. Please see if I'm doing a seminar in your area. The one in New York tomorrow is sold out. I hit my 30 max quota, which is awesome. And if you are attending that, please be there by 9:15. We start at 9:30 sharp. Oops, I forgot to update that on my website, but it's in your Telegram group chat for the seminar. I'm going to update my website tonight in case people are last minute checking that. Start at 9:30, be there at 9:15. I'm sure all of you guys are watching these videos, or you wouldn't be at my seminar. So see you all tomorrow. It should be great. All right, let's go to the markets. Before I go to the markets, guys, I mean, people are tagging me in these tweets, and I'm getting things like this, right? Like, people are drawing these, cups and handles, like this one. I guess this is the same one, only more zoomed out version. Guys, this is premature. It's premature, right? Like, you don't need to beat other traders. Like that's not how trading works, right? That's not how, like, it's also not going to make you popular either, right? Look, when do you have to look at this area, right? Like, you can say, hey, this is a left shoulder, this is an inverted cup and handle. Let's say if that's what you're thinking, right? Like, hey, this is a left shoulder, this is an inverted head, and this is an inverted right shoulder with a second little shoulder, right? You don't need to get this right until here, like at the very tip. Like, you don't need to beat other traders for a technical trading sign by a month if it doesn't help you like make any money in that trade, right? Like, it just doesn't, right? By assuming that this is gonna form the cup and handle or the head and inverted head and shoulders, you are potentially missing out on, hey, what if this doesn't form that and it continues to go down, right? Like, you are way too early to calling what is going to happen. Now, if it happens exactly like this, you can claim that you were right. And if it doesn't happen exactly like this, then you just walk away from your call, right? Like, it's just not necessary. Like, wait, let the market develop. You only need to be right the day you only need to recognize the shape the day before the breakout, not a month before the breakout. Like trying to guess a shape a month before the breakout is just a total waste of your time and energy. Okay, you just wait. Okay. That's all I really wanted to say, right? Like everyone is asking me about, like, oh, is it forming this, is it forming that? I'm like, I don't know what the hell it's forming. Like, talk to me the moment it forms it, right? Like, you have plenty of time to figure out what shape it is. Okay. All right, let's actually move on. Here's the weekly chart. The weekly candle remains weak. It's not as weak as it was last night. Last night we were near the bottom of this candle, and today is already Friday, and we're starting to move back up and forming a doji. Now this week has really whipsawed us back and forth. The week started out really strong. I guess last night when I was doing the video before going to bed, it was at its weakest point. So the moment it's at its weakest point, and unless it's in the middle of critical support, at least that I notice, my expectation is that we're probably going to keep going down lower. And this is where your risk reward and proper stop losses can save you if you do end up in a bad trade. I didn't forget my tea today, which is great. So there you go. So the weekly chart has not changed, right? We're still technically inside of a bullish trade based on traditional trading, but still in a bearish posture based on the time indicator. But next week, expect a price flip unless we fall all the way down to 8,000. Is it possible to fall down to 8,000 next week? Of course it is. Okay. All right, here's the daily. The daily is bouncing back on us. So let's see, right? What is this line? I forgot why I drew a purple line. Why did I draw a purple line? I'll need to look back at my video last night. I just don't remember why I drew a purple line. Sorry, guys, don't remember, right? So according to the daily chart, the shorting opportunities were right up there the moment we started trading below 11,000 and coming off a beautiful reversal candle plus the triple resistance cluster. An additional, because the one candle was so, was such a massacre, you can probably jump on a short again a little bit prematurely, but normally you wait till a candle with a red 2 on top of it starts trading below the prior red candle, which took place at 10,200, which we're currently above. So that means if you got to this short trade late, I think I warned people yesterday that if you haven't already been in your short position, you need to be real careful about going more short, because shorting Bitcoin is a lot more dangerous than going long Bitcoin. And if you do not jump on that short trade early, and you do not properly set your stop loss on your short, the short can really wipe you out. So you got to be real careful with shorts, and I normally do not recommend it unless you really, really, really know what you're doing. So anyway, so if you did jump on the short insanely late, you got to seriously be careful right now, and don't assume that the short is going to work out. You should be you should be cutting that loss short, or should have set that short to break even already and wait for another perfect shorting opportunity. Where would the next shorting opportunity come? Well, the most likely candidate for the next shorting opportunity will be at the next hit of the declining 50-day moving average. Let's back up on this daily chart and look at the 50-day moving average, right? So the 50-day moving average did break down. The price broke below the 50-day moving average back in September of 2017. When it broke back above the 50-day moving average in late September of 2017, the 50-day moving average was beautiful, perfect support of the price of Bitcoin in early October of 2017. It was then once again the perfect support for the price of Bitcoin in November of 2017. It was then perfect support for the price of Bitcoin again on December 22nd, 2017 at a price of 12,000. It was then support again at a price of 12,300 on December 31st. It was then broke down below the 50-day moving average on January 11th. And the first test of the 50-day moving average from underneath was on February 20th, just a few days ago, right? So the 50-day moving average has been significant in supporting the price of Bitcoin. It can be just as significant in rejecting the price of Bitcoin. Now that Bitcoin has rebounded, and remember, this is only candle, this is a red 3, right? So we're comparing it to 1, 2, 3, 4 candles ago, right? So unless this candle closes all the way at like 11,500, we're going to stay with the green 3. That also means that we're still going to get we're going to stay with a red 3 on the current candle. We're probably going to get a red 4 on the next candle because, again, that candle would need to close above 11,300 in order to flip us a color. So even according to the time indicator, we're still going to be in a bearish posture the way weekly is, even though if we continue to trickle up, we're not going to get a red 5 and we'll probably flip color then, right? So what this means is that tomorrow, even if we go all the way to 11,000, that the bearish posture is still in place, and that's where we will meet the 50-day moving average. So there's a huge possibility that the 50-day moving average is going, like, the probability is with the bears right now, right? Now, even though we're going up right now, you still have to be very, very cautious. Like, I would not be bullish on Bitcoin again until we close above the 50-day moving average. That is my very first metric at this point, right? The 50-day moving average has proven to us that it will reject the price of Bitcoin. This happened 2 days ago. And yeah, I'll look at the 6-hour chart, Julio. Thank you for your little donation to get my attention. I don't think I have anyone doing QA today, so I'm on my own. So I will not pay attention to the bullish case of the price of Bitcoin until after we have cleared the 50-day moving average back to the upside, or we get capitulation. We get some kind of an annihilation in price. If you don't know what capitulation is, please Google it. We had capitulation 2 times, actually. We had it back on January 16th, which wasn't all that strong, and we had a much stronger case of capitulation on February 6th when we dropped all the way to 6,000. Okay, so right now, all this looks like to me is a bit of a dead cat bounce, potentially back into the 50-day moving average, and then I will reevaluate. Okay, so even though your short trade could be going to shit right now, I would definitely be very, very careful about any long-term bullish positions in your trading. Now, if you're a holder, you're a holder. This is totally unrelated to you. Okay. Here is the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart, it gave us a nice, beautiful reversal candle. We closed that candle below the 200-day moving average, but we have now closed back above the 200-day moving average 2 candles ago. We had our price flip, and now we are trading with a green 2 above the green 1. So obviously, I put in all of these red lines were the possibilities of short trades on the 4-hour chart. The blue line is what I normally use for stop losses. So obviously, if you took on a short trade in the vicinity of $10,000, that short trade needs to be exited, because this dead cat bounce can last into 11,000 and still not endanger the bearish posture of Bitcoin. Now, the 50-period moving average on the 4-hour chart has also now been broken to the downside. Let's see how useful this 50-day moving average was on the 4-hour chart. It's possible that it's not very useful at all, and maybe we shouldn't even use this as a guide. I'm going back to the period of February 8th to February 11th, and I don't really see it being all that useful in order to gauge the price. I'm also moving back to the last time. I mean, it was very useful on January 15th. It wasn't great here. Like, we're going above it. So it's possible that the 50-period moving average on a 4-hour chart is not really all that great. I mean, maybe we can adjust it. Let me make this line a little bit thicker. Let me also make it a slightly more visible color. and maybe I can play around with the inputs here. Maybe I should make it exponential. I'm not sure, right? Maybe I should try that. Let me try an exponential. Maybe it's better on a 4-hour chart. Okay, so this is what I teach people in my trading course, is that there's multiple ways to use moving averages. Some people like exponential, some people like simple. Some people like to use the default numbers like 20, 50, 200, like myself. Some people like to come up with another set of numbers like 128-day moving average or some others. I know there was one set of bloggers that I was watching, and they used, I think, the 411-day, and then they used the 257-day, and then one more, like 80-something day, right? And they thought those were awesome parameters, and they use those averages across all assets, right? Or you can tailor your moving average parameter to the asset at hand. Okay, so because I'm not really finding this 50-period moving average all that great on Bitcoin, I can maybe play around with the parameters. I can try putting in an exponential, moving average exponential, and I can throw a 50 parameter into that and see if that's better. And again, my style, I need to pick another color, and maybe I'll pick purple, right? And I'll make it a little thicker. Now, let me see if this one makes it any better. It actually doesn't to me. It doesn't make it any better at all. So I'm actually going to delete it, and I'm going to try and stay with the simple. So if I adjust, no, that's the other one. If I try to adjust this, right, if I make it a little more sensitive by going down to the 40, let's see what happens. Okay. That, again, that doesn't really help me at all. So let's try to go another direction. Let's try, 75. Okay. I'm liking this a little bit better. Not great, but a little bit better than the 50, right? I mean, again, you look and see how often it was rejection and how often it actually helps your price, right? So you can play around with these parameters. Like again, nothing is perfect, right? Nothing is perfect. Let me try 100. I actually liked it when it hit this point, which was the 50. Um, So you can play around with these parameters, right? There's no magic formula here. So you see what works. So if I stick with this 100, it's going to cross the 200 soon to give you some bullish momentum, right? We can also go the other way to see if there's resistance. Let's say I go with a 20, right? Anyway, I think at this point I'm just wasting time. Maybe I shouldn't even pay attention to it, right? I'm gonna go back to my 50, and I'm just gonna stick with it for simplicity. So on the 4-hour chart, I guess it's not all that useful. So I wouldn't really use it as a great metric. But on the daily, it seemed like a very good metric. So right now, you're clearly, if you did enter any of your shorts late into this move, and you never had a chance to set your break-even stop loss off of this hit of the Fibonacci line down in $9,600 zone, you should seriously consider getting rid of the short position, because now on the 4-hour you have a 2 trading above the 1. People are very curious in the 6-hour chart, because the 6-hour chart gave you a beautiful 9 reversal and off of a doji candle. Now look, guys, I understand that if you start playing with this, with these time frames, there will always be a 9 somewhere at the low, and there will always be a 9 somewhere at the high. Okay, I fully understand this, right? Like, I'm not here to cherry pick a time period and say, hey, the indicator is always right. This isn't Elliott waves. Okay, so in reality of the situation is you need to trade the timelines that work for you. And some of those timelines will work nicely for you. But yes, if you start, if you want to prove that the syndicator is always right, you can always find a timeline, a time period, right? Oh my God, it worked on the 3.5 hour candles. Like, I don't really do that, right? I don't normally look at 6-hour candles and 12-hour candles. I used to only look at daily and weekly. I recently added the 4-hour, and then I also added the 1-hour. Back in traditional markets, I used to love the 10-minute candles, right? But yes, if you start playing with your time frames, you will always find a 9 and always give yourself a reason for the reversal, right? But that's not what I normally do. So sure, the 6-hour gave you a beautiful doji candle and a 9 on that candle. So if 6-hour is what you trade, sure, this was an awesome trade for you, but that doesn't mean that the 6-hour would have given you other great trades. I mean, the cup and handle is a cup and handle on every time frame, so that doesn't matter. But as far as this indicator is concerned, I don't know how good it would have been historically on the 6-hour time frame. Well, it would have been pretty good at the it would have been very good at that bull trap, 17.5 $1,000 high. But look, this is a clear, double top, which I still would have drawn my green arrow even with this 9, but this 9 would have given me a caution sign. So hey, if the 6-hour was able to call the perfect top of with this indicator for the 2018 calendar year, maybe it is a good time frame to use. Here's another one, again marking the very top at 16,000. And this 9 was off by 3 candles, but you did have the aggressive 13, which I actually really like. And here it is again, right? Hey, so maybe the 6-hour is a useful time frame. I don't know. I have not used it enough to say with confidence that the 6-hour time frame is an ideal time frame for this indicator. And then, hey, here's another aggressive 13, giving you a heads up for a top. And this was never a 9, actually. This was always a flip of a 1 candle from the recent top of 11,800. Okay, so based on the 6-hour chart, the indicator itself has not yet given you a bullish trade. What it has done is told you to get out of your bearish trade. And if you're trading doji candles, your entry is above the top of the doji, which was right at 10,000, and your stop loss is right below the doji, which happens to be the Fibonacci line at 9,600. Okay, I'm going to go back to the 4-hour so I don't get myself confused. All right, next, the 1-hour chart. The 1-hour chart is interesting because the 1-hour chart is giving you a 9, and I do pay attention to the 1-hour chart. It's a 9, it's a doji candle, it's a declining 50-hour moving average. So this is a triple whammy of resistance for a potential break in the action. So what am I looking for right now based on the 1-hour chart? Based on the 1-hour chart, I am looking for a 1 to 4 candle correction and then reevaluate. Okay, you reevaluate after your 1 to 4 candle correction, and then potentially we can go higher, but we don't have to. We can go lower, right? It's like people always ask, how do you know what's going to happen after a 9? I don't. I look at the surrounding information around a 9 with an arrow on it, right? I look at higher level time frames. I look at candlesticks. I look at other resistance or other support, and I try to make the best argument for why I'm expecting a 1 to 4 candle correction, why I'm expecting this 9 to be totally ignored, or why I'm expecting this 9 to be, a complete reversal in the price. And I don't have to be right. I'm just assigning in my brain higher percentages to each of those three scenarios, and I reevaluate with every price tick. All right. That's about it for me. I really liked that we closed on a 9 in the yield department. So we did get a 9 in the yield. So I believe the yields have short-term topped. Short-term top. The yields have short-term topped. And this is what Wall Street likes to see. Boom, you're going down immediately following a 9. So at this point, I am as certain as I could be that the yields will take a 1 to 4 candle correction, and then we reevaluate. Is that all that the yields are going to do? Is going to be a 1 to 4 candle correction, and then the yield on the 10-year is going to go back up? Or will this 9 lead us to a downtrend in the yields? Now, I personally believe that it's time for the yields to go up. I think the bubble in bonds is bursting, which means the yields are going to be going up. So the most likely option here is a 1 to 4 candle reversal in yields and then continued upside. But in the short term, if the yields are going down, that means bond prices are going up. That if bond prices are going up, active traders are going to sell some stock and buy some bonds. They can always get out of those bonds in 4 days, right? So now that the yields, I'm expecting the yields to go down. I'm expecting bond prices to go up. Therefore, I'm expecting these are the bond prices. I'm expecting the bond prices to go up. I'm expecting yields to come down, and I'm expecting the stock market to continue going down. It's 8:30 in the morning right now, so the market doesn't open for another 30 minutes, for another 60 minutes. Here are the futures of the S&P 500. It looks like we're flat. We did hit a 9 at 7 in the morning. These are the 10-minute candles. Let me go to the daily candles. Let me see how today is going. So today seems to be an up day in the futures market, but hey, this is one of the reasons I got in trouble as a equity futures trader. S&P E-mini futures trader, is that I always tried to time the market open, which was very, very difficult. And I learned my lessons time and time again by the amount in my portfolio. So I'm still expecting a downside in the S&P 500, right? Even though the futures are up a little bit this morning, I'm expecting yields to go down. I'm expecting bonds to go up, and I'm expecting S&P to go down. We will reevaluate this every day for the next 4 days, and then after 4 days, I will, look at it again and say, hey, is the correction over, or is the correction going to continue? All right, that's it for me. Let's see. I don't know if I have anybody helping me with questions. Mike, I see you're on. If you saw some questions, throw them in there. Other than that, let me see if there were any tips that caught my attention. Not really. I don't mind keeping this video short. I'm 30 minutes in. Oh, you know what? I had a client the other day ask me about Cardano. So, sure. I'm not going to talk about it much. And ADA, I understand why they named it. It's just silly. Yeah, so here was my view of Cardano. It was like I said. I'll do maybe the next crypto scam will be Cardano, right? Because clearly I can't get any expert that I like to talk shit publicly about the Ethereum technology. So maybe I'll do Cardano. I know exactly who I'm gonna talk about Cardano with for a crypto scam episode. And we hit a 9, so I'm not surprised at all that there was a break in the action of dumping this thing. Momentum has to run out somewhere, right? And I expected a little bit more of a bounce. But basically, if Cardano falls below the yellow line at this point, it's over, right? Because, like I said, I don't know if this 9 is going to lead to a 1 to 4 day reversal or a full reversal, right? So already you can claim that a 1 to 4 day reversal has happened, right? Because look, the 9 itself was the first green candle that Cardano had in over 2 weeks, right? Or in 2 weeks, right? And then the following candle was also a green candle. So boom, your break in the selling has occurred. At this point, if Cardano falls below 0.00003, there is significant downside, right? Like, I don't know how big this green arrow was going to be. So, I mean, that's it. It could go up, and where I expected it to go, which was, in a vicinity of 0.00004, as high as that. But if it doesn't, if we go below 0.00003, it's over, right? Like these things are just so silly. Get out of this garbage, guys. Stop trying to get rich. Everyone that ever tried to get rich quick ended up being more broke than they were before. Okay? Stop. Just stop. Done with Cardano. You ever trade any commodities futures successfully with TD? Yes. Looking at oil. Yeah, I'm gonna start taking a look at traditional markets again next week, guys. Next weekend, I'm gonna try and bring that to you. Yeah. This is definitely used with commodities by trading desks. I know it is for a fact. I don't want to look at Ethereum, guys. Any idea when Bitcoin futures will be traded on the Nasdaq? Never. The Nasdaq doesn't trade futures, guys. Come on. Like, if you're gonna ask me like traditional market questions, at least understand traditional markets. Nasdaq is an equities exchange. It's not a futures exchange. Nasdaq will never trade futures. Come on. Silly question. Yes, I will be. We're working on something for Las Vegas at the end of August. Details coming. Uh Natural gas. Man, I don't know if I have natural gas preset. NG. Do I have NG? Natural gas futures. I have it. Must have looked at it at some point in my videos over the last year. Yeah, it's the old version of the indicator too. Wow, where the hell is it? Oh, geez, that fell hard. I'm on 60 minutes here. And there it is, right? Nope, that's the wrong 9. It was a 9. It was a 9 for a minute on a 60-minute chart. Definitely timeable. Let me get my latest code up here. Wait, is that even the latest code? That's not the latest code. My scripts. Hmm. I kind of updated the code, but I don't want to show that one. Oh wait, I think that's this one. I think this is the latest. I'm gonna drop it from this chart, guys. Yeah, this is the latest, right? So I can choose Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Hmm. Damn. All right. So, what's another way of doing this? I'm gonna change the ticker instead of. I'll go back to the sticker after. So this would be NG one explanation point futures. There we go. This is the daily chart of natural gas, and well, it looks bearish to me, right? On a daily chart, right? Because you had this monster pump for no reason. You did have a 9 causing you a break in the action, but now you stagnated along the bottom and it's about to be all over for natural gas. I mean, wow, look at this. Look at this monster daily support line, right? Um and it's about to crack and it's about to crack hard. So I would be very bearish natural gas right now. Um and I think it's about to crack to the downside any minute. Um, Natural gas is a very dangerous future to trade. Trust me, I know that from experience. It's like Bitcoin. I can go to the weekly. Well, the 13 helped. Remember, these 13s are way more accurate in traditional markets than they are on Bitcoin. Wall Street pays attention. Um, and it's just in a bearish posture. Here's the weekly chart. Not looking good. I look 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th time it's being supported by $2.60 or $2.50. Like the 250, 260 support is now acting as support for the 5th time, and it's not going to be easy to like it's not as strong as it once was, right? So uh, it's probably over for natural gas. I would be bearish here. I can go to the 4 hour. Not that that one really matters in traditional markets, so maybe I shouldn't even do that. But I will go to the 1 hour. And yeah, so the 1 hour is giving us a bit of a bounce, but I think it's going to be short lived. So there you go. Oh, someone was talking about the 4 hour. I don't know. I've never really used the 4 hour on traditional markets. I don't see it as a useful time frame on traditional markets. We use the 4 hour in Bitcoin because of a 24-hour market, even though you know futures do trade 24 hours, but still. Yeah, 13.9. It's giving you a bounce, but I just like the overall picture is weak on natural gas. All right, I'm gonna go back to ES1 explanation point, and this is where we are. All right, and I'm gonna go to I don't know daily or something. Okay. Now, guys, I don't want to look at Litecoin. I don't want to look at Neo. I'm not in the mood today to look at shit coins. ETF on Bitcoin, I mean, there is a higher probability of it happening now that the futures market exists, but the probability is still very low. All right, so I answered this question yesterday, so I don't know if I want to answer it again. Why do you still use Telegram when they are doing an ICO? I seem to recall you saying that you would stop using. Guys, I answered this exact question yesterday. Please watch last night's video. I will repeat myself, but this will be for the last time. The ICO token from Telegram is going to be a scam token. That doesn't mean that the technology that's being built is a scam. You can build good technology, but then finance it with a scam or a Ponzi scheme, right? Now, I like the technology of Telegram. I will continue to use the technology of Telegram, even though there is now a high probability that the CEO of Telegram, who's going to do an ICO, has a much higher probability of going to prison or get seriously fined or get the company taken away from him. That probability has grossly gone up. Does it guarantee that he's going to go to prison? Does it guarantee that he's going to lose the company? The answer is no. But the probability of that happening has completely gone up. Now, to play my own devil's advocate, if he is out of money and he's about to shut Telegram down because he can't afford to offer Telegram for free and Telegram is going to go away, or he's being forced to sell Telegram to, let's say, Google, and then potential privacy features are gone from Telegram, then he has no choice but to finance it in any way he can, including the creation of a scam token, just so that he can continue doing Telegram with what he wanted to do with it, right? Now, because I like the underlying technology, it's irrelevant to me that it's being financed by a scam coin, okay? If he's just creating equities and securities out of thin air, all right? Now, this is a little different than something like Ripple, because I believe Ripple's technology is generally useless and is being financed by a scam token. Now, whether Ripple's technology is useless or useful is totally debatable. It's debatable. Now, the fact that it's being financed by a useless scam token is not debatable to me. The Ripple token's a scam. Ripple technology may or may not be good. There's nobody stopping you from using Ripple's technology. But is he gonna mandate the use of the Telegram token to use Telegram? If he does, then I'm gonna have to get off Telegram, right? Like, if I'm forced to use the ICO token that I don't want to use because I see the ICO token as an unlicensed, unregistered security. I want no part of it. Okay. I have no intention of ever purchasing that token. And as an American citizen, it basically makes him liable for selling me an unlicensed, unregistered security, which has a high probability of landing him in jail. Just please go watch my video, Crypto Scam Ethereum, where me and a securities lawyer talked about what an unlicensed, unregistered security is. Okay. And application tokens make no sense either. Okay. So that's the problem. So please don't ask me this question again. I'm never going to answer it again. Go back to these videos because I'm answering it for the second time. Someone's asking, will Lightning Network help or hurt Bitcoin? I'm sorry you just got here. I'm sorry you are new to Bitcoin. You must be in Bitcoin for about a week. So please watch a lot more videos before asking questions. Next. All right, guys. I think I'm going to leave it here. And we will pick it up. No, well, not tonight, actually. There's not going to be a video tonight. I'm going to be doing work the rest of the day. We got the seminar tomorrow. There's probably not going to be a video tomorrow. So I know we're at a very critical point in the price of Bitcoin, but this may be your last video until Sunday because Monday evening I have a family event. So it's very possible there will not be another price analysis until Sunday. All right. Maybe there will be one, but probably not. Okay. So I'll talk to you all on the next one. Bye, guys. Oh, and I forgot. I am wearing shorts. I'm not just wearing a t-shirt because I'm home and it's I got the heat on. Check out the affiliate section of my website, and I'll see you all on the next one.